Christmas is fun.
Christmas.
Christmas is magical.
Christmas.
Christmas is long lines and travel delays.
Christmas.
And unexpected guests for dinner.
Christmas.
Christmas should run smooth and be organized. I'm James Lott Jr., the Super Organizer, and this is the Super Organizer Christmas Show on the Christmas 24/7 channel. It's the most wonderful time of the year here at the Christmas 24/7 channel, the Super Organizer Christmas Show. I'm James Lott Jr., Super Organizer, and welcome back to the show. We're back talking tips, holiday tips. We're talking how to have a safe and organized time when you're holiday. I'm not even drinking. My drink doesn't have any spiked eggnog or anything. We're talking about decorating tips, 6 of them. They're going to be really useful for you out there because we decorate. That's what we all do. We decorate our stuff. So follow us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts. Follow us on YouTube under the Christmas 24/7 channel. And follow this show. Follow it and our other programming. Follow us. It's Christmas here all the time. We love it. The first tip we're going to talk about, because we're talking about this is for everybody who decorates. This is also for people who have kids, who don't have kids. People who have pets too, have a few pet things we're going to talk about also, because that's very important. Our pets are our babies, our family. And they're around us when we have all this Christmas stuff going on, so we want to make sure they have great care. Decorating is a very fun, sometimes stressful thing, of course. And in a later episode, I'm going to talk about, an upcoming episode, I'm going to talk about actual organizing and storage and that kind of stuff of holiday stuff. That's a whole different story. But this is more about the actual organization and tips of actually handling the ornaments and everything. We're going to talk about that. Because we want no surprises. We want everybody to have safe time. There are hazards up and down and through when it comes to organizing holiday stuff. We want to make sure that's good. We're talking about ornaments. We're talking about Christmas trees. We're talking about lights, indoor and outdoor, etc., etc. Now, the number one thing, as I show you up there for Christmas tree care, Christmas trees are fun, right? They're beautiful when you get them all together. I have a sister who decorates Christmas trees for a living in Ohio. She does it every year for some rich folks out there. She's been doing it for I think 25 years now she's been doing that. She goes and she decorates all their trees in their homes. It's a fun thing, and she knows all about this, and she actually gave me tips over the years for some of this stuff. And the tree I'm showing is, again, if you saw previous episodes, I love silver, I love white, I love blue. To me, it's very winter wonderland, very Christmassy. I mean, red and all that's good too, as you see I have on a table here, but I like silver and blue and gray and all those kind of colors. But Christmas trees, you gotta be careful with them. There's some things with them you gotta be careful with. One of the things you want to be really careful with is the handling of all the stuff that goes on the tree. So now, hopefully, like I said, we'll go into in deeper detail. One major tip: you should always have everything grouped together, all like things grouped together, all ornaments, all lights, all tinsel, all this. Everything should be kind of, so when you pull it out, it's easy to grab and easy to put on the tree. But the tree itself, here is something that some people forget, and why there are a lot of fire trucks going to homes during the holidays. If you get a live tree, or a living tree, or a tree that you've cut, you make sure it's watered. So you have the little stand, and there's a little section for water. Make sure you're watering that tree. You want to make sure you keep it from drying out. And in many cases, you have to water it every day, depending on the size and the shape of the tree. But you got to make sure there's always enough water. I want to say that over and over again, because the needles, everything they dry out, and they actually be a fire hazard. And I've been in a fire; it's not fun. So that's very, very important when it comes to Christmas tree care. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is it's the actually for plants and trees. You should never eat them. now I chuckle a bit, but for seriousness, like poinsettias and different things, and hollies and all that kind of stuff, you don't want to eat them. You don't want to chew on them, and that's for adults, kids, even mistletoe. The thing you go and you kiss out, all that kind of stuff. You don't want to eat it. It's not. It's an herb. It's not an herb. It's not an herb to eat. So you want to make sure you're very, very careful who's around it. So this is really a special thing for pets and for young children, because there's that stage when these kids put everything in their mouths. They're running around. Don't touch that. You want to make sure they don't do that. There are some risks, and I'm showing you a picture of some of the poisonous holiday plants. They're really pretty, but you don't do it. Like again, I said holly. I didn't realize lilies were too. When they said lilies, I was like, oh, lilies you can't, I mean, I wouldn't eat a lily, but they look so pretty, but I didn't know they could be harmful. And poinsettias, of course. And, you got to be careful with that and with the tree too. So I would say make sure you're watching your animals if they're roaming around to not gnaw. Because sometimes cats especially, and dogs too, like to eat grass and stuff. So I would say have little pieces of grass. They sell them. They sell them in like Petco and stuff around if they want to gnaw on something. So sometimes it's for their stomachs and stuff. But you don't want to hurt them any further. Christmas lights. Now I'm going to tell you something. You need to be careful. Now, later on in this episode, I'm going to tell you ways how to store the lights because you should wrap them up and stuff. Now, you should have outdoor lights and indoor lights totally separate, right? Outdoor lights are for outdoor, indoor for indoor. Be really careful when you're putting them up. That's number one. I always say use a buddy system. Do not do it alone. I know some folks are like, well, I'm going to go on the thing. And no. Make sure you have somebody with you to do it. And to help you unfurl the lights or pull out the lights. Sometimes they're in the boxes where they're kind of like held in. Have somebody help you hand you the lights, and as you're stringing them along, they're with you. There is actually an organized way to put up lights, and you start from one end, you go to another, you start from up and go down. You want to be really careful. And there's a place you can go to. Make sure I say this correctly. It is esfi.org. esfi.org. They actually give you resources and tips on how to actually put up lights and to be careful with them. If you have outdoor plugs, which I do, I have one in my front yard, one in my backyard. Make sure it's cleared. Make sure it's cleared around it. That there's no high grass or stuff or bushes touching the cords and the outlets. Make sure it's all cleared out. So when you plug it in, and here's something that I do. I do lights outside in my backyard. You can buy, and I got it for like $9 at Home Depot to save for money because they can cost money with the lights. There's a timer you can buy, and you can play. And they usually have like 3-prong things. You put them in there, and the timer is good. And I set mine from dusk to dawn, and then you can and it just comes on when it comes on. It's dark. It goes off by the morning time. You're good to go. But make sure that whole area is cleared out. And again, it's esfi.org. You can go to get all information on kind of how to do that. But there's an organized way to do that. You just want to take your time. Go section by section and be really careful. Be really careful. Now, kids should be, of course, involved. You want to have them be involved with the organizing process of putting stuff up. I always say be careful what you hand them. Some ornaments are too pointy. Some ornaments are they can drop and cut. And they may be lightweight, but those things can really cut. It's like paper cuts really hurt you, so can ornaments. You want them stepping on them. They really need to be supervised, obviously. And I always say for kids, the lower half of the tree usually is better for them. And you watch them and you give them a section. And that's kind of almost like organizing the decorating. So you go section by section. Sometimes when you have big trees, it looks overwhelming because you're like, oh, it's all this big tree, what am I going to do? And that's what I learned when I was decorating trees is let's go section by section, top to bottom, section by section. And it goes by really nicely and it fills in. And I always go by, certain kind of ornaments first, or maybe usually it's lights first, put all the lights in first, then the different ornaments and the certain ones and different bulbs. Certain ones. You kind of go in order. You just can do one thing after another, and then it starts to fill in. And then, of course, if you have tinsel, that goes on last. And then, of course, you always save the angel on top of the tree for last. If you do an angel on top of the tree. But there is an order. But with kids, I always say, make sure you're watching them, teach them that method, and I give them the lower half of the tree if you have a tall tree, and then you do the top half. And that's kind of something that I like to do with that. In a previous episode, I kind of talked about what to do with leftover wrapping and paper and boxes. You can use it for gift giving, taking things to people's houses, for broken ornaments and misplaced and trash. Again, it's all about recycling. It's all about repurposing, taking something. I've had, like I said, boxes outside where I have it, in my trunk in the car, and I organize my stuff in the trunk in the car. Or if you're giving presents to people, you can put boxes, presents in the boxes, gift boxes to give to people. It's all about taking what you have and reusing it, and it doesn't cost any money. You already have them, and you don't want to, use that. Now, the biggest thing, and this is these are quick tips for you guys. This is the biggest thing: cords. Cords. Now, I'm going to show you some cords that I've actually used with clients that really work, and there's different reasons why they work. Make sure I get my right thing in here. So, when you plug in lights, there's a cord. When you plug in musical things, sometimes there's a cord. There's also other things that have cords and stuff. And this is good tips for anything, any time of the year, like with offices and like that. There's certain ones I like. There's one is a 6-foot fabric cover one. So it actually covers the cord. It's good for folks who don't like to have their stuff sitting out. I have friends who like their appliances hidden behind things. Their refrigerators behind a closet door. Like they like to have their stuff not shown. This is a great thing too, and it protects you because it's actually a nice fabric. You can get some different colors to match your decor. The one picture is gray, which is a nice color for stuff like that, but it protects it. It's durable. I have friends who have used it, and it keeps all your cords together inside. It's almost like it's a sleeve basically, and I love that idea. There's also another one where you can do it's like bungee tying up. Now, the bungee ones, I have like bungee cords too, and you can do those also. And those are a lot of fun too. Here's a cute one that is a little cork, like a wine cork. And I got these, you can get these all on Amazon. It's like they're not anywhere super crazy. You can go on Amazon, get these, Crate and Barrel. But I really, really love this one. It's so cute. So it's a little decorative, but again, it groups cords together because again, you don't want to trip over cords. People can fall, pull things out by accident. You want to do that, but that's a cute one. They also have some that are Velcro, and the Velcro ones are nice too because the Velcro is usually strong. You do it the right way. It holds them all in together. And these are good also for afterwards. When you're done, after you're taking down Christmas, the Velcro runs work really well. The ties are good, so you can tie it back up and because you don't want them getting tangled when you put them away. That's the problem. And these cords are good for lights too. I always say roll the lights into like a little, almost like a ball, and then and you can tie it around that. It's a good one too. And they also have the ties, of course, which they're adjustable. Same with the Velcro, adjustable. These are all adjustable, so you can put in thick cords, thin cords, and cords of any sizes, multiple cords. I'm a person who really kind of likes all the cords to be separate. Now, here's a little organizing extra tip on this. This will be 6B. I get Ziploc bags, and they have all kinds. And I usually take cords and put them all in the Ziploc bags. If I can fit the big ones, the gallon ones, quart ones, and you close them up. You can write on them. Some come with a label on them already. So they say what it is and all that stuff, and put them in there. And so they're all held together. All the cords work. Because again, they get tangled. That's the whole thing about tangle. And here's something too. Steve and I were talking about this before this show came on. Do not use tape to tape cords. You may think it's resourceful. It doesn't. It makes everything sticky, and it's just not good. Don't do it. The Super Organizer tells you don't do it. Do not use tape to wrap them up. Rubber bands, because somebody else probably brought up to me about rubber bands. Rubber bands do get old. Rubber bands, they do wear out. The other things I'm mentioning to you have a longer shelf life. Rubber bands break, they burst, they dry out, depending on how they're stored. They get really hard. The ones that get really hard, and they just kind of they almost like they're brittle. And they're not always the greatest. And you can hurt yourself sometimes trying to wrap things up in those. So I say no, don't use rubber bands. I'm just not a fan. If that's all you have, be careful, do them. But the Velcro, the bungee, the fabric, and the ties, those are my favorites. And if you don't have a lot of money, these things are really not that expensive. You can get them anywhere like for under $10 some places. And if you have the twist ties from like trash bags, those can work too sometimes. They're not as sturdy either. The old wire ones in there, they're not as sturdy, but they can work also. And if you already have that in your house, my thing always as an organizer, I'm always trying to save money, not spend a lot of money. And that's kind of a tip that goes for every show that I talk about. If I talk about getting products, there's ways to repurpose things in your house that can be useful. If not, you can find things. And everything I'm showing you, not that expensive. You can find inexpensive versions of them. And you can find different sizes, depending on the size of cords and stuff. But I say try Amazon, Lowe's, Home Depot, any of those places, and wherever's in your neighborhood. That's what I would do with that too. A couple other just little side tips that I like to mention. Do not leave candles lit. And here's what's funny. People used to know that anyway. But here's the thing. When you go to sleep, some folks think, well, I'll leave the candle on. I'm home, so I'll keep the candle on while I'm sleeping. Anything can happen. Blow out that candle. And here's an extra super organizing tip about blowing out candles. Here's some for you. Because when you blow out a candle, all the smoke or whatever from the candle comes out and can be really just like, whatever. Take your finger in front of your mouth, and then you blow on the candle. Like that. So like you just kind of, it's here, you do the opening, and you blow it, and for some reason, it cuts down on the smoke. Take that home with you. It's very interesting, right? Because I have a smoke detector near one in my bedroom, and they went off the other day, and I was like blowing out a candle. I forgot to do it that way, and I was like, oh my God, it's going off. But that's one way to do it. Just put your finger in front, blow, and usually it helps cut the amount of smoke and stuff that comes up from that. I'm sure you know about that, did you? Mm-hmm. And always when it comes to plugging in cords, make sure your wiring, your sockets are well and can handle the voltage. I know some of you are watching this from other countries, so make sure you have the right voltage for each country. I know some are 210 and some are 180 and some are 110 and 140. There's always different ones. Make sure you have the right plugs. Make sure you have the right things to plug in, because that can cause a fire too.
I have a question, James, and I want to tip on this. I want to know how often should you replace your Christmas lights and how many should you keep? Because I have a bin of like 50 little strings, and then I'm just every year trying to figure out which ones work, which ones don't. I kind of like keep them to plan on certain ones going out through lack of use.
They do, yeah.
So what's kind of the magic number with that?
Okay. Number, you brought up two very important points. One, Christmas lights do go out, folks. Many of you guys know that. They go out. They wear and tear, and when they're not used, they run out. And don't you hate it when you go to plug in the light and only one part of the stream is working? Usually it's like the middle part of the stream is working. The other ends aren't working. You're like, how's that happening? It's crazy. For me personally, as a super organizer, my endorsement is it depends on the size of your tree. But usually most trees, like 6-foot trees, 7-foot trees, which are usually the average, you don't need any more than maybe 3 sets of lights. That's it. Not really. You don't need that many. You really don't need that much more than that. Smaller trees, obviously less than that. Lights outside, it depends on the size of the house, of course, so I can't really give a number for that. But for trees, I just say 3 sets for a 6-foot, 7-foot tree. Then you usually mix it around. So that's the top part, middle part, and bottom part. You don't really need more than that. And throw away, if the lights go out because this happens too, the lights go out during Christmas time, like during the holiday season, some of them go out, throw them away. Do not hold on to them because part of a light works. Or just, I'm going to try to replace the lights. No one replaces light bulbs and lights. They don't. They don't. Yeah, sometimes they come with the little replacement bulbs, but no one's going to do that. So get rid of them. So I mean, don't even try that. But the point is, you're trying to avoid clutter, number one, but also fire hazards. Everything I mentioned today, it's all kind of like fire hazards and poisonous stuff. I know it's Christmas, right? Happiest time of the year, right? But there are things we need to look out for. And I want everybody to have a safe Christmas, an organized Christmas. So that's kind of what I do with that there. So those are our tips there. Hopefully they're useful for you. You can go to superorganizeruniverse.com for the actual chart that I have that talks about all this stuff on there. ESFI.org is another place you can go to for that. Now I'm going to leave you with this. Be careful. Be careful at Christmas. Be diligent. Be present when it comes to everything you have going on in your house, when it comes to your plugs, when it comes to your tree, when it comes to watering it, the plants, your kids, the pets. Be present and make sure you just kind of watch over everything. You don't have to go crazy or worry, but just like make sure you're kind of keeping an eye on stuff. Once you have an enjoyable Christmas, enjoy the season. I'm James Lott Jr., the Super Organizer, and you can follow us on the Christmas 24/7 channel. That's on YouTube. It's also on iTunes. You can listen to us if you want to. Listen to my deep voice in your ears. You go there and actually like that too, because we have all the podcasts are there too. You can listen for audio while you're shopping, in the car, taking the kids to the gym. I don't know, where we take kids. I haven't taken kids anywhere in a long time, so I don't know where you take them. Wherever you're taking them, you can listen to it. When you're taking your jog, you can listen to it. And go ahead and follow, subscribe, like, comment, rate, share. If you have certain tips, share them with me, please. And I may share them on the next show. Who knows? Give me some tips. Tell me what's going on. What do you use? What are some things that you look out for? I'd love to hear it. We're all in this together, and I love learning stuff if I don't know it already. Let me know what's going on. Let's talk about it. I'm James Lott Jr. You can follow me at The Super Organizer on Facebook, The Super O on Twitter. We're all James Lott Jr.'s sold on social media platforms at James Lott Jr. everywhere. And I'll see you next time. Merry Christmas.
From Chairman Elves Kevin Undercaro and Maria Menounos, we would like to thank you for tuning in. Until next time, do your best to make every day Christmas. Ho, 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 ho.
Merry Christmas! Merry